Have fun, Mikey. Have fun, Darren. Thanks for being here. I love
You already did.
You're my brother, Baba. Let's do this. Rock that. Good evening. Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Backstage Pass. I am your host, Vince Edwards. You may know me from some Image Productions, and I have a couple closed roadie groups on Facebook, one called Death by Loadout, another one called The Backstage Pass. This evening is a special show. It is a unique show. We are up to our ass in rock and roll over here at Sound Image, and we are on a total skeleton crew right now. Luckily, I just got Mikey back in. That's the Octopus, our executive producer, switcher, director, audio guy, RF guy. He is Mikey. He does it all. He just came in from Oxbow River Stage. We're building up in Napa, a big festival deal that's going up as we speak. Was it like a 40 by 60 foot stage with a roof and all kinds of fun, Anya, and it's a quite an involved thing. So I'm lucky that I just got him back not 40 minutes ago. This evening, we've got all kinds of stuff set up for you. A little shout out to our dear, dear good friend and co-host, Kyle Thomas. He's not here with us tonight. He had to go down to our shop in San Diego to do some training for an upcoming John Legend tour. So we wish him all the luck and tell him that we miss him. And it won't be the same without him. We'll try our best to endure. I want a little shout out to some of the folks that do the comments. I enjoy the comments thing. Kyle typically takes care of that for us. Then I come in later and deal with the Facebook ones. He deals with the ones on YouTube. He won't be available to do that this evening. At least I don't believe so. I was talking to my beautiful, lovely girl, Jackie Canterbury of Slow Fiber. And she gets in and mixes it up with you guys. I think she'll have a couple extra words this evening if I'm lucky. I am lucky. I can say that I'm lucky because I just mentioned that that's my girl, Jackie Canterbury, and she's friggin' amazing. So I must be lucky. A shout out to all the people that come to this show. We really appreciate you guys. I'm pulling this together, like I said, on a skeleton crew at the last minute because we've been very, very, very busy, and that's a good problem. I want to send a little bit of love out to Ian Peacock. I know he stays up till 3 in the morning over across the pond over there in Great Britain, and we're doing this show just for you. I almost phoned this thing in and did a clip show or a rebroadcast. You know, I've got 70 of these things. I was thinking, you know, maybe today I just feel like maybe, I'm not going to lie to you. Today I was like, maybe it's a good day to throw up a rerun of one of the better shows we've had in the past. And I thought, no, if Ian's going to stay up this late and come out and watch us and a bunch of the other friends like Scott Chaney and our dear, dear brother, the man from Michigan, Charlie Zaricki, and of course the captain, Snoopy. And like I said, folks like Noah, the new beard tanner. Yeah, I said it. You cut off your beard. You got to grow it back. So no, it's not Noah the Beard Tanner. It's Noah the new Beard Tanner. Love you, baby. Love your show. He's got a great show. Check out Noah the Beard Tanner's page. He's got a show called Cooking with Mush. His daughter's Mush. The cutest little kid in the world. They're adorable. They cook all these things. I think the other day, most recent was brownies. Go check it out. It's super fun. And I want to talk to you about one thing. My good friend Pat O'Doul sent us a little reminder about passports and what's going on with passports. Let me read you a note that my good friend Pat sent me. Pat O'Doul, he sent it to me for us, for all you guys out there. Now, I've seen a few of my brothers and sisters in the touring game and here in our business here that are struggling. I got to put on my ability to see, so bear with me. He said to us that we should be aware that travel documents are up to date and now are taking about at least 18 weeks for basic services to renew passports, with a lot of countries won't let you in unless you've had a passport that is still good, that has more than 6 months left on it. He says he knows it's a little late and it should be done, but let me get to it here. The bottom line is you may have to expedite your passport services, which of course involves more money. What a scam. But if you're going on tour and you're doing international stuff, you guys might want to check in on your passport, see what kind of dates are on it, what kind of times you have left on it, and if that you need to do anything critical if you're going out in the next month or two, because it is not going to be easy, and you might want to be aware of that. And I thought that was information that was important, and I want to thank Pat O'Doul for sharing it with us. I was mindful of this and aware of it, but it kind of went in and went right back out because all the other damn things I'm trying to keep in my brain. And I thought it was nice for Pat to reach out to all of us to say, hey, if this is a problem, if this is something you're doing, you might be aware that it's a deal. Let's go over to this other card here. What else do we got? Oh, Kyle, like I said, he's down doing Amazon training for the John Legend Tour. I want to thank our guest last week. Listen, I had a great time with Chris Lee. What a fascinating cat. Just an incredible guy. It was wonderful for him to be on the show. We really enjoyed his time, and we want to thank him for sharing his experiences with the audience. And, just coming. He broke in the middle of, he was literally on his show at the time, and he pulled an hour away from it doing that and sat down with us, and that was very, very kind. I'd like to send a little bit of love out to one of our sponsors and a dear, dear good friends. That's the guys over at DDI. That's Diablo Digital Incorporated, also known as Greg Price from Ozzy, Black Sabbath, and everybody else, and Brad Maddox, our dear, dear good friend who was in here not a couple hours ago. We were having a good talk. And they provide extraordinary services when it comes to Pro Tools rigs for the biggest bands in the world. They're right here in the building. They're great friends of mine, and I'm really lucky to be associated with them in any small way. And I wanted to thank them for being contributors and sponsors of the show. And if you guys ever need, the best recording rigs in the world, say you're out with YouTube or Rolling Stones, well, actually, they already have those bases covered. That's already their customers. But Metallica and so on, all the biggest bands in the world use their shit. You need some high-end, get it right every time shit. Reach out to the guys at Dolby Digital Services. They're extraordinary, really great folks. Again, comments will be a little truncated and stilted. See what you can do with that. It's getting a little trickier to do this show. I've been kind of speaking to this over and over. It's not as easy as we'd like, and that just tells me to double down and put more energy into it. So I'm going to try to do that for you guys. We have some really interesting guests booked for coming up in the future, some real hardcore players. I'll mention more of that towards the end of the show. And I want to, actually, I'll save this. We had a great visit from a dear friend, but let me tie this into who's our guest this evening. I got very lucky, and we wanted to have him on last week, but he got pulled out of the country and had to go deal with some family stuff and have some fun outside the country. So we were lucky enough to get him to come in here tonight. He's a dear, dear, amazing friend. He's probably one of my best friends in the world, and I can't mean that more. Yeah, don't give me that strange look. You know it. You know it. Who else makes out with you? Come on. Number one. The number one. The world. So my brother, Greg Price,
kiss you on your lips, man. I'll kiss you. I'll come over there and kiss you right on your lips.
He is like family to me. He literally is like my brother. I am questioning his spice rum choices, but that's fine. I want him to be happy. I want to be happy. The captain in the house. Let me just say, we have the one and only loudspeaker design legend and God in the house. He is our resident. Yeah, but no, it's you. We're talking about you. Talking about you, bro. No, he is our resident genius, and man, he gets it all done. And like when you get in a bind and you can't figure it out, you just go get Bernie. It's the one and only, and the legend, and my brother, the Bernie Broderick. How are you, my bro?
Awesome.
Really glad to have you here.
Awesome. I'm really glad to be back, man. I mean, every time I do this show, it's just like coming home for me,
It's a very close fit. This is coming home for you because let's talk about origin stories. This show started with you and I.
Yep.
You and I started this show. I think we were sitting out, right over there smoking cigarettes out on the back lot.
Yep.
And it was after work one day, and we were starting
COVID had kicked in.
Yeah, we were starting to get cancellations, and we were like, man, we got to do something.
Got to bring up spirits. We got to have some fun here with people, yeah.
Some of our friends were getting all broken and, a little glitchy. And we thought, well, let's just go talk to the people. And so you start whipping out your technology, your cameras and shit. And we were...
It was like a GoPro. I had like 2 GoPros and I had a Roland Octacapture. And we're trying to do a show and I'm the guy over there. I'm co-hosting, but I'm also trying to see the feed and do the...
Yeah. You were the original octopus. You were the original octopus.
It was awesome.
We made it happen. It was funny because we came out of the cannon pretty big, if you remember. We started with Bob Scoville. With Robert.
We rolled him out on a TV monitor on the chair.
Yeah, we had a chair next to us.
Nobody was more amused than Robert was.
He was amused. That's what's nice about Bob. Is, he plays along.
Absolutely.
He's a supporter of things.
Absolutely.
We support what he does. He supports what we do. And he's a dear, dear friend and a good man. Yeah. And but we shit the bed hard that night. That bed was shit completely.
Go back and watch it.
No, I took it out the air. It's absolutely unwatchable. the first 5 or 6 episodes are
it's a spinal tap of the backstage pass.
It is rough, man.
Yeah.
It is rough. It is. And so luckily he gave us another run at it. He came back and we took another run at it, I think in our 5th or 6th show. And, we got it right. We got the sound right. But it was kind of it was basically like you could see the images and it kind of sounded like.
Well, it was some Darth Vader shit going on or something like that.
It was super
There's something to do with sampling rates or something. It was,
we were sort of figuring it out still.
But it was, I mean, to look back on it, I mean, you know, I just laughed my ass off
it was
now
fun.
to see it.
Yeah, it was super funny. And we had a good time on that show, if you remember. We were kidding.
Oh, yeah, the rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, we were doing gags, like we were doing with the
SM58?
Yeah, we wanted to test the theory of that you can, SM58 could survive anything. So we nailed some nails into wood with one and then talked through it, and it worked perfectly, just like we predicted.
It worked.
It was the legend is true, the myth is real.
I remember you saying before you did, I just may own this 58 when this is over.
Yeah, I was willing to buy that son of a bitch. I remember we killed a bear. We had a bear mic. Remember, it was a Bear 56, and we were like, so see, this is what a shit mic does. And we were like talked into it, and then we like boom, 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 and it died like it should have died.
It was only a $2,500 condenser.
It was not that big a deal. I've hid it in a drawer. Nobody knows about it. This will be edited for my boss's viewing pleasure.
Bury the bodies.
The bodies, you know where they're at. Nobody else.
They're at.
Nobody else. They can't prove it without the body.
No.
But we did that, and it was fun, and we giggled, and had some fun with it. And then we, I think we whipped out a chicken, threw it on a moving light.
We had it on a moving light.
We put it on a moving light, and we blasted it with 2 Sharpies.
Yep.
And we cooked that chicken.
We ate that.
We had that chicken. We ate that chicken.
Yeah.
We're just testing out shit. Yeah.
I think part of my pancreas is missing. But
probably. There was some issues, the radiation and so on, that might have maybe not been the best chicken we've eaten. But
not good choices.
But no, and it's the roadie's life. It's what we do.
Done worse.
So I wanted to bring up that this is a big week for my brother Bernie and Truth in Audio, his company. Bernie's an inventor, a creator, a maker, and I hold him close to my heart. And he's made a couple of fine, extraordinary products. I wanted to bring up real quick, and we're going to get into those in a second here. But we had a visit. A really fun time visit with a good friend of ours, Greg Kirkland. He's an expert, amazing talent in his own right, a mixed engineer. He brought his lovely wife. It was Trudy, right? He brought his lovely. She was adorable. She was sweet as could be. And then Bernie came in. I was running around giving them a nickel tour, and they were kind of like, "Wow, this is some shit." I think she expected something a little smaller in here. Once we got her through the building, I think she was impressed a little bit. And then you rolled up, which just totally talk about moving the bar. Like, then Big Burn rolls in, and you kind of took over that, and I just kind of sat back and enjoyed that. There was lots of fun. And you gave them the soft sell on one of your current products, and I think they were really taken by it. We did a little test with it. Why don't you take over this conversation from here? We brought out the goods. We took them through the paces. You put on the Skrillex and some other shit and fucked with their heads hard.
That's all you, though. I mean, you do that, right? Get the Skrillex. Get the Skrillex.
Well, you played some. I don't forget what it was, but it was some.
I played like Robbie Robertson.
Yeah, it was this poof shit. It was like the music was real cool, and then all of a sudden Robbie Robertson comes in. Oh, you was back in the woods, and I was doing some shit, and I was like, come on, man, play some fucking music.
He's like zero to hero, right?
I'm a little amped up tonight. I'm a little grouchy, y'all. It's a weird mix of grouchy, amped up, happy. No, you don't want to do that. It's bad for everybody.
I'm a happy drunk.
Actually, I think I'm kind of a loving drunk. Yeah, it might get a little mushier than normal.
I'll keep you up all night, though.
Yeah.
You'll hate me by 5, 6 a.m.
Nah, I doubt it. I'm probably closer to 2.
Please go to bed, Bern. Please go to bed. Please, man.
Really, dude. You guys, my nickname is Amp. I don't know, many people know this. Amp is my nickname, and that's pre-drug history.
Oh.
So it's like that is an earned nickname from being just a spaz and having natural weird energy at times that needs to be, tamped down.
Metrics.
Yeah.
Can't work without metrics.
Not the safest way to go. Let's talk about this wonderful visit with Greg.
Yeah.
Greg Kirkland. Oh, we've got a couple Gregs in the mix tonight, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, you tell your story.
Greg's going all over the place. No, I mean it was awesome. I mean, I walked in. I've known Greg Kirkland for quite some time. I had not met his lovely wife before. Greg's a great guy. I mean, he just exudes. salesmanship, you know?
Kind of a calm, cool, deep fucking vibe there, too.
Yeah, he's got this deep vibe, right?
He's just a good cat.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys where I met him the very first time and instant friends, right?
I understand that, totally. Yeah.
Very, very, very easy guy to like, and doesn't have many noticeable idiosyncrasies. Maybe his wife will say differently.
Yeah, she's like throwing shit at you right
you
now,
have no
but
idea.
nothing that I could point to. Just a solid American.
Exactly.
And a hell of a technician and a good person, you know.
And so when it comes to, so anyway, we were talking about Curie, right? So the Bluetooth speaker, which debuted this week. So we just launched it. And it's on the website, truthandaudio.com. And so it amazed me because most of my influence has been from a couple of very wonderful women that I know. And so I have this kind of female perspective on the product. And so when we started talking to Greg about it, all audio aside, I got really interested in his wife's opinion on the things that I thought that would matter to women in our industry. Things that are near and dear to their heart, you know, obviously the eco aspects of the box. I mean, it's hard to tell from the website, but the whole box is made of aluminum.
Yeah.
So it's all recyclable. We ship it in a hard shell case. So the case is yours to keep. So we don't use any styrofoam or plastics or anything like that.
Yeah.
And we're actually using bona fide Tesla Model 3 car battery cells in it, which we get from a company that third parties are reclaimed pack. So I felt like we were doing so much in the design work for being environmentally sensitive. And I kind of put this challenge out to all the manufacturers with a post on Facebook the other day. I go, you know, basically, you can start thinking like this if you do it from the design phase. And I only say that because that's what I did. I started thinking about it as I was going through the design phase. I switched from wooden accents to metal accents because I knew the wood we need to preserve. The metal we can melt down and reuse, right?
Well, I saw you thinking through the process while this was all happening, because this process was lengthy. You were really sussing it out, and there was an evolution.
10 months.
Yeah, an evolution to it. I think it started with you looking at something I had in the office or something, thinking, yeah, that's crap, and we can do better. And something, it just spawned you off, and before
I just wondered.
Yeah.
I wondered, right? Because making a consumer product, a personal item, was the furthest thing from my mind, as you know. I wanted to build big bass bins and line arrays and monitors and stuff like that. And so when I kind of got fixated on this issue that I started to see, which is there's no, what I call it is the TISO of personal listener's experience, right? So you got your Timexes, you got your Best Buy kind of offerings and your online Amazon kind of offerings. Then it shoots right to, like, you know, the Bang & Olufsen's and even the Louis Vuittons and things like that. So there's this big, huge gap in the middle where there's really no one occupying that space. And so I said, I wonder if there's a validity in making a personal listening item from a pro perspective. Yeah. And this was all pandemic driven, right? So I had the time, I had the energy, and I said, okay, well, let's give it a shot. The acoustics part of it, even so far as the electronics and everything were concerned, fairly straightforward for me. But what really consumed my time was the aesthetics. And then that morphed into the eco waste aspects of it. And I said, look, I can spend more money here. I can make a really quality product. And that's the first thing you do when you want to save the environment, is make something that nobody's going to throw away.
That will last, absolutely, in this disposable world of ours.
Exactly. Yeah. And not only do we throw these things into landfills and stuff like that, but every time one gets thrown into a landfill, the shops in China fire up again.
Yeah.
It's a two-pronged attack, because now they have to make more, because you planned it to be obsolete in 2 years, to make more of these plastic things that probably cost them $20 and they sell it for $500, you know? And it's crazy. So anyway, getting back to Greg Kirkland and his wonderful wife.
Well, she was quite verbose in her opinions, and they were very good opinions.
I was blown away. I'm like, you get it. Like, you totally get everything that we did here with regards to the aesthetics, the fact that it lives on your mantle, it becomes part of your personal items. as opposed to something that you just throw around and you don't care about it because it's going to be dead in a year anyway. Who cares? I go back to Best Buy.
Yeah.
So the point being is that was an amazing validation for me that I hit all the marks going along in this process. So launching the product finally this week was quite a revelation. You know, I mean, we were brisk in sales. And I was
pretty
just
good
kind of,
from what I can tell.
yeah, I was kind of blown away. You know, I had a couple of people who bought 2.
Wow.
I'm like, holy crap, this has got legs.
Yeah.
But again, this is a close social network of people who know me and stuff like that. The big ticket is going to be helping me get outside of that.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, word of mouth, reaching other people, because obviously this is not something you can demo, right?
Not easily.
Not easily. You have to be able to go in on a leap of faith and say, I believe that what he's done is credible. I believe that his background indicates that it'll sound good, and I like the way it looks, and I like the approach he's taking. And so it's really up to the general public now whether this product lives or dies. Quite honestly, you know.
Well, I mean, your representation absolutely precedes you. Your history with Adamson, L Acoustics, EAW, all the many things. It's evidence that you're the speaker guy.
I hope so. I mean, I hope just in the fact that you'll give it a shot, and because once you get it, once you turn it on, I think you're going to be impressed with it. I mean, I've got a number of testimonials now to people who've either heard it or own it, like yourself.
Yes, sir. I love it. I'm very pleased.
And so we're incredibly hopeful. There's more going on here than people understand. This is not a product. This is the launch of a completely different attitude when it comes to product design. This is like, like I said on my profile at one point, I said, big things have small beginnings. And what I mean by that is I can continue to carry on this sentiment in our industry, and I can do things because I work. I'm a lone horse, I can do things that companies that are controlled by corporations and shareholders, they simply can't do it.
That's right.
And it's not their fault. Engineers come up with crazy things, but they're not allowed. They're hobbled so much, to do what it is that they want to do.
Cost-benefit analysis, and how do we get the numbers down, and so that starts cutting into quality and look and style.
I'm a rebel.
And of course, and the quality of the materials used, which I think is a huge thing here. I mean, I can't imagine more of a quality assembly of goods, of things, and things to kind of get that final look and the final.
It's 4 pounds.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. It's hard to explain it. I don't do it as well as you do, and
the technical aspects and stuff. But sure, I mean, nobody needs to understand the technical aspects of it. They're going to turn it on, and they're going to either enjoy it or not. I mean, that's really all there is to it. I don't expect anybody to understand the minutia of the design. I just think that, to coin a phrase, the best thing that's happened in terms of responses is someone said to me, it's a piece of industrial art that just happens to play music.
Yeah, that's actually a very good summary, a good description of the product itself.
Right.
It is absolutely a little bit of art in there that's doing that beautiful sounds come out of, and it's what I find surprising. It is its space response especially since I do have other products that we use around.
You're kind of surrounded by a few speakers,
and so I know I've seen the limitations of other folks' product out there that is. I wouldn't even say I struggle to call it that you're competing with. It's just such a different thing. I mean, sure, it's got some similarities in the sense it's a Bluetooth speaker. It's of a certain size. But the first thing that I think that people will be stunned by is the output, the largesse of it. There's a certain warmth and largeness to it that you see coming out of this little, 18-inch deal that it's just extraordinary.
Well, I mean, the fact that it stands vertically, it takes up so little space on your desk.
Yeah, the real estate on that is very clever.
Very clever. And so when I did testing on other Bluetooth speakers, here's what I found. if you start to increase the volume, you get up to about 50%, and everything's fine. Like it comes up full range.
Sure.
After about 50%, the bass stops turning up.
That's right.
And only the mid-high keeps going up.
Yeah, it gets real hanky and
oh yeah, it gets real gnarly and nashy and stuff like that. And I'm going, well, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas I built this with strong components, so I didn't have to do that. So when you turn it up, it keeps going up.
That's right.
Together, everything comes up, and yeah, I mean, it's been a wonderful project. It's $875 for a single unit. It's not a stereo pair or anything like that. I know I had a couple of people ask me about that
today.
Yeah. So I'm trying to be clear on that it's a single piece, and that may sound rich for some people. Some people I know in our industry and in our wonderful circle of friends who are just coming back probably is a bit rich for them. You know, I didn't target it to the $350, $400 kind of Best Buy market. I targeted it towards a little bit more affluent people because I thought that's the space I could occupy.
Yeah.
But our Shopify store does allow for 4 equal payments to buy one. So
I was not aware of that. That's very clever.
Like, I don't
That's
know,
smart.
225 times 4 or something like that. So if guys are getting back to work, you know, and they're just starting, they want to support it. I guarantee you the value is there. The money was put into it.
No doubt about that.
So it's worth every penny. When you get it, you see it, you feel it, you weigh it. It's like, okay, this is.
It's a substantial little dude.
This is not a piece of plastic covered in cloth.
No,
and
then like you said, you also travel it in a way that you're not sending this out in a bunch of styrofoam and cardboard.
No more styrofoam. No more. I mean, I've seen. We both have, right?
Yeah.
Dumpsters full of this stuff.
Yeah.
You got to ask yourself, where does it go? What does it do when it leaves the building?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I could send somebody a huge value add with this great case that they don't have to use it for carry. They could put their will in it, their jewelry. It's got locking tabs. You could put padlocks on it.
That's right.
And I'm like, I don't anticipate this going to a dumpster.
Oh, God, no.
So plain and simple, right? So now I get to ship it to you. I produced no waste materials in either the speaker or the shipping or any of that stuff. And I did all I could.
Oh, I would say it's fully realized, And
I did everything I could.
And I can testify, you were up till the wee hours many nights out there testing, doing your thing in your lab, in your space. And I saw this over and over and would come over and check on progress. And between, what do you got? What are the amps that you put in it?
It's got a stereo 50-watt amplifier in it.
That's pretty good.
So 2 50-watt channels.
Yeah.
The air motion transformer is the big ticket item because nobody has ever done that in a Bluetooth speaker before, ever.
Not that I'm aware of.
No.
And talk about duplication of highs. Really, oh my God. What's it go up to? What is it?
It's over 20K.
20 friggin' K.
Yeah.
Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, from a Bluetooth
extraordinary.
speaker. Yeah, this is not what you categorize when people think Bluetooth speaker. This is not that. It uses that technology, but it's a. What can I say? I'll say this on behalf of the audio industry. It's a pro Bluetooth speaker.
Oh, no doubt about that. Yes, it is a pro product. This is not really consumer grade stuff. This is next level, and it's so obvious in its performance, and its form and function, and it just looks great. It's just a really attractive piece. Mikey, can you give it to me in 3? I think it is. Let's show one that Bern was able to sell to. Now, and think about the people that are buying these things too. So
Vince Edwards.
Well, I got one of the first ones.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it. I like to think I was a little angel investor.
You were an angel investor. You were right there at the beginning.
Yeah. We knew what you were doing, and I wanted to be a part of it. And I was like, just take my money.
Camera 3.
Will you show him Greg's brother? So Greg Price is a legend in our business. I'm 54 years old, almost 53 years old, and when I grow up, I want to be like Greg Price. I want to
beat Greg Price.
Well, no, that's not so. He's got that covered.
He's got that covered.
But I want to be like him. So that's the one right there that Greg Price ordered, and that is now his. And you can see how it comes in the Gator, and in that. What is that color called? What are you calling that color?
That's O Canada.
Okay. Fucking Canada. All right. Well, you know, that's another part of it. That's another segment.
That's another segment.
We're going to get to Canada in a minute.
That's the We Hate Bernadette segment.
No,
we love Bernadette.
I love Bernadette.
She's my sister.
We're
God bless her.
going to call this show the Take Bernadette
Down.
Take Down Bernadette.
Take Down Bernadette show. Yeah.
She's the best. How do you take down perfection and sweetness? I mean,
that smile. How do you take down that smile?
Such a great woman. That is Bernie's sister, Bernadette.
God bless you, Bernadette.
Yeah,
we love
Bernadette
you.
Broderick. She's a wonderful woman. And Bern was just up visiting her. But let me finish the thought on the Greg Price thing. So Greg Price ordered this speaker. Greg Price is a legendary audio engineer. He owns, we just talked about him a little bit, Diablo Digital Incorporated, right, makes the best Pro Tool rigs in the world, and is probably, I would have to say, the top 3 mix engineers in the whole wide world. Still highly sought after to this day, goes out and does the biggest shows in rock and roll.
Going with Alice Cooper soon.
Yeah. Well, he's currently with Alice Cooper, and largely known for Van Halen, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, on and on and on. The list is so long. If you want to know more about Greg Price, go find his show that we've done with him. It's extraordinary. He's an amazing guy and a dear, dear friend. But Greg Price stood in front of this and said, "I want one of those."
We heard a prototype.
Yeah.
I wasn't even demoing it. I was letting Kyle listen to it.
Yes.
And Greg just happened to be in the area, and he came over to my rig
out of curiosity
and said, "I have to have one of these."
Yeah.
I didn't know you were making those as a consumer product. I have to have one. I'm like, dude, you just blew my mind.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my mind is
a heavy endorsement when Greg Price comes up to you.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Martin Fry bought one.
Okay, there's that. Look at that. I mean, seriously.
Alan Parsons project, you know, come on, man.
Aware of his credentials.
Journey.
Yeah, he's a badass. No, these are guys. These are the golden years of rock and roll. These are the guys that, you know, that's what you hire them for, is because they got the skills to, you know, pay the bills and do the thing.
Robert Scoville's going to buy one, and I only
Bob's getting one?
Well, I'm only saying that now because maybe he's watching.
Rob, you're on the hook, Daddy. That just happened. All right, we need you to reach out.
It just happened. I'm just kidding, Robert. I'm just kidding, man.
I'm absolutely not kidding, Bob. You're not as good a friend as I thought if you don't buy one of Bernie's speakers.
I love that man like a brother.
Oh, he's a dearest. He's the sweetest
and Greg
guy.
too, man. I mean, he's been so amazing. I mean, he sat down with me the other day. We did some review. He brought in one of his Bluetooth speakers that he has, a Bose, and he was showing me all the, you know, whistling all the accolades of how different mine was and what he was noticing in the timbre and the tuning and stuff like that. And he's going, you know, maybe you could do a little this or a little that. And I'm going, and he's going, I think it sounds amazing. You don't have to. I'm like, Greg, you don't understand what a golden goose egg this is.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to have you offer me your opinions with your golden ears, to tell me to tweak this a little bit and tweak that a little bit. I mean, that's something that a manufacturer would pay many, many thousands of dollars.
They actually do.
Yeah.
And for him to, you know, he beta tests
Just
a lot of
offer
products,
that
as you well know. And for him to step to you, well, plus that's the love and the respect. It's just Greg, you know, he's such a special
goes
cat.
both ways.
But absolutely. We're just lucky to have him in our presence and adore him and hope that all's good for him right now.
So I mean, sales have been good. We're kicking it off now. So now we're, you know, obviously we're reaching out in many areas, and we're going to have to get, you know, into traditional marketing and things like that.
Sure.
Hoping that word of mouth will you know, illuminate more as we go by. And I think that once we build up enough kind of reviews and understanding and trust, I think it'll be a cool thing to have. You know, I really, really do.
I totally agree. Where can they find you on this? The folks that are hearing us right now that are curious about what we're talking about, they can further
It's Truth and Audio, truthandaudio.com.
Okay.
Store's open. Like I said, you can buy now. There's 2 levels. There's the sport finishes, which are kind of like the single stage finishes. And they start at $875, but I include the shipping with that. And then there's the premium finishes, which is like, you know, incorporates things like faux wood finishes and brushed aluminum and metallic
I've seen them. They're
coatings.
Beautiful. They're absolutely striking.
So there's a couple of different levels that you can buy into. And like I said, you can do 4 payments if you go into Shop Pay. And we'd be thrilled. We'd be thrilled to have more people jump on board and help us build this brand, because I have a lot of really cool things that I would like to do, and this is kind of the first shot over the bow. Yeah, no, it's a hell of a shot too. It's a great initial offering. It's absolutely, can't say enough about it. You guys should really look into it. Thanks. If you want high quality audio experience in the home or in where I use it is in my office when I'm not doing the house system and blasting everybody and I need to have some room quiet and so on. I just
go in my office and put that thing on. Well, you like me to use it at 60%. I don't know how to do that, so I'm trying to shoot a dust cover across my office.
You help me set the limiters. Yeah.
That's my job. I help them with setting limiters.
And we even send the owner's manual comes on a USB stick, so we don't even use any paper for that.
See how sweet that is.
And in there's some information on acoustic principles, and so because it'll change character, where you place it, how you place it,
yes,
because of the
I've noticed that, actually.
passive radiators.
Yeah, the passive. It's got 3 passive radiators on the back, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with that technology, but it allows for a more enhanced kind of bass experience, a fuller bass range. Yeah. What does it drop down to?
I think it's functional really down to just below 70 hertz.
Yeah, and you can really hear that.
Yeah.
For such a little guy to be functional and have that reproduction at 70 hertz is, kind of breathtaking and unusual.
Yeah,
so,
it's
really
fun. I like it. I like to get people's reaction.
It's a really great product. All right, I want to talk to you about another product you built. It's more of an industrial show type.
Well, we have the 3 vertical markets, right? So we're moving into pro.
Yeah. But right now, I can't get past the shirt. I want to talk shirt. You thought I didn't come on when I first came on the set. Coming right out of work, you were sitting on the set, and I said, "Hey, Hawaii." And you thought I hadn't said anything about your shirt. There was no way to not say anything about the shirt because it's beautiful.
I'm like, didn't you notice the shirt?
It's super red.
What I wear the shirt. You didn't know.
I'm afraid you're blending in with the speakers right now, but you're probably not.
I'm trying to elevate my profile, dude.
Yeah.
I went from beer to mixed drink.
Yeah.
I got a Tissot on, and I'm going full on Magnum PI.
You are Magnum PI.
I'm going Magnum PI. I'm going hunting for a 308 tomorrow.
Does that make me Wiggins? I mean, what's happening right now?
Yeah, I know. I think it does. Or Zeus or Apollo.
I would probably prefer to be one of those.
Kyle and Audio Jesus can be Zeus or Apollo. And Audio Jesus bought a speaker too, by the way.
Oh, did he? Mikey, this is your cue, baby. Well, you should watch the screen right now. Hey, yeah, rock and roll Jesus. We're talking about rock and roll Jesus, otherwise known as Mikey. Mikey, does he owe you a speaker? Put a camera on him, Mikey, to show him what's up. So, all right. So, are you gonna get Mikey a speaker because he loves you very much? But
this is my deadpan face.
Yeah. Speaker.
He ordered a speaker.
What? Did you order a speaker? I think he might have.
Yeah, there's a few that are getting delivered next week. Kyle's got one coming. Mikey's got one coming.
That will make them very, very happy.
Yeah, I mean it's been right up to the wire, I've still been making little mods and things like that, you know, and so it's just amazing.
They're going to get the best possible finished product. So absolutely worth it.
Yeah, the first 12 were the pilot builds, and I kept those close to my close family and friends. So I could.
Speaking of that, I thought that I got the first one, but I was later told that I actually got the second one because you gave the first one to your girlfriend. Is that what happened, Bern?
Maybe. I made up a lot of stories back then, Vince. Just trying to cover my own ass.
Just when I thought I was special.
As a point of fact, there's probably like 8 people who think they're the first.
Oh, fuck. My rainbow just keeps sinking down.
0001, 0001, 0001, 0001.
I'm going to go ahead and tell myself that not only did I get the first one, but I got the only black one. That part I know is a fact.
Reject my reality and substitute your own reality.
That's what I always say. Multiple times during our relationship. It's served me well.
I can't believe you did that, so I'm going to pretend it never happened.
Exactly. It's an ego thing. I got to keep mine bolstered up artificially with bullshit or not.
But you have the only black one.
Yes, I feel special because of that.
Without doubt, you have the only black one. And a lot of the guys and gals watching this are going to go, why the hell are you not offering a black one? And I said, because we have way too many black speakers.
Yeah, that was your exact words. Yeah. But you knew you couldn't get around it with me.
Couldn't get around it with you. Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at
you. It's the way I think they think I'm dressed up for the show. This is me.
This is you.
Funeral,
24,
wedding.
25-8. 25-8. This is you.
Yeah. My shopping experience is really fun because I go straight to one place, bam, take like 6 things at once, or get the hell out of there.
You're like the Fly, when what's his name has all the suits hanging in a row, or what's his name there? Apple, Jobs.
Jobs. Yeah.
You know, you got all turtlenecks, you know.
Well, you know, it's just one less thing, man. I got plenty to worry about, all kinds of responsibilities.
I got a fucking parrot shirt to take care of now.
Yeah, that is lovely.
I'm sweating in this motherfucker.
I gotta tell you, it's really a thing.
It's really made me sexier, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, dude, your eyes.
I didn't know it was
your
possible.
eyes are popping right now.
I didn't know it was possible.
I think
but-
no, I know, dude. Just you took it to a whole nother level when you were already at what I thought was the top level of sexuosity. Yeah.
Let me see how good you look right now.
Yeah. I think is that shit finally starting to work a little bit. You buying any of this?
It's after the show.
Oh man!
After the show's
wonders of a good drink, a good
You and
alcohol.
me, we're gonna talk.
Super
We're gonna talk
important.
bondage.
Let me ask you. We didn't have you last week. You had told me that your thing up, and I just spaced out because I didn't want to hear it. That's that altering reality of what you talk about
We all
versus
use
what
it.
I want to have happen. And so you disappeared to Canada. What the hell was that about? And is the place still okay, on fire, or anything that I can report to the audience that would make them happy?
This is actually a good public service announcement because, I did travel to Canada. I am Canadian. Mm-hmm. So I was allowed to go into Canada.
Yeah.
But sweet Mary Jesus, man, did I ever have to jump through hoops? You know, like...
I think you should feel kind of blessed, and you know that they're very forgiving that they just let you back in at all.
I don't know how blessed I was, to be perfectly honest
What
with you.
happened? They spank you around a little bit?
Well, I mean, you know, just the whole idea of all the hoops I had to jump through to get there, you know? Like, I mean, whatever you know about air travel, double it.
Yeah.
Because I walk into immigration with literally a fistful of papers.
Oh, man.
Right? I had in 7 days, I had 3 COVID tests.
Wow.
7 days.
Yeah.
And, you know, of course, I had to have all the vaccination. I had to download apps on my phone. I had to prove this, prove that. And then get on an airplane, and 30 minutes into the flight, everybody just takes their masks off because they're eating food. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Weird.
So it's all convoluted. And when I got off the plane in Montreal, I walked into what could best be described as a zombie apocalypse.
What do you mean?
Because everybody's just wandering around like this, you know, like they're like, because nobody knows where to go.
Yeah.
Nobody knows now the new restrictions and policies and things like that.
Sure.
And just, you know, if you travel now, all I can say to you, the best advice I can give you is just keep your wits about you.
Yeah.
You know, like I was supposed to do a COVID test upon arrival, but yet I was exempt because I was vaccinated and I had all my documentation. So they sent me down this fork in the road where I was going away from the COVID testing. And before I left the gate area, the security area, I stopped and I said, wait a minute. I'm not leaving to go into the general public until I know that I've done the right things and you've done the right things for me, because they were even kind of confused. I asked 2 different people and they were giving me 2 different answers.
Sure.
I said, I'm not leaving this area until I know that I've done the things that I'm supposed to do, because I signed a document that said, if I don't follow their instructions, they can quarantine me for 14 days.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I don't want to walk out of this area and then have someone grab me on either arm and say, yeah, you failed the test, dude.
Yeah.
You know? So everything worked out fine. I mean, there was definitely no problem, but keep your wits about you as you're traveling either into Canada or other countries. Man, there's a lot of steps being introduced into this whole process.
Yeah.
But the trip was wonderful. My nephew was getting married up in Quebec City, and man, it just felt so good to look at new stuff, you know, to look at. It's been nearly 2 years, you know, since
you've been up there.
Yeah. So that was an amazing experience.
I'm really glad.
And that was Bernadette. That was all her doing.
Well, she's such a huge sister.
It was her son.
It was Bernadette's kid. Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yep, Daniel. Yep.
Congratulations, Daniel,
Tessier,
and to, of course, Mother Bernadette.
25 years old.
Yeah, that's about the right age to make crazy decisions, I guess.
And little known fact, he's the guy that does my DWG drawings for all my stuff.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, 25 years old, kid's a freaking whiz bang.
Yeah, well, you know, that makes sense. The Broderick DNA, you know.
He makes
kind of a smart bunch over there.
He works in the surgical industry, so he creates parts for, like, you know, doing shit on your body.
Wow.
Yeah, just heavy. It would take a whole show to describe what he does.
Yeah, I'm already getting a little creeped out. I don't think I want to go down that road, Burn.
Creeped out is good.
Moving on. All right, so let's talk about your industrial product. So we've got we're sitting here in front of all the Anya here. Well, a big batch we have 48 boxes of this. I think there's 24 behind me, so there's 24 out on the show right now. And that's 2 sides of 12, I think. I'm not sure how you guys configured it.
At the Oxbow?
Yeah.
9 aside.
9 aside.
Yeah.
And this is heavily intricate. And of course, as I always like to say, Bernie Broderick designed these speakers single-handedly, completely by himself, without any help from anybody else.
In a cave with scraps.
It always pisses him off when I do it. Of course, he did this with a team, but it is an extraordinary, shot across the bow of all speaker technology, loudspeaker technology that's out there.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and incredible stuff. So we sent it out to this Oxbow thing I was mentioning earlier.
Praise Jesus.
Yeah, right. And it had been sitting for a minute, so we were. Jesus just.
Audio
yeah,
Jesus.
there he is. Jesus just jumped up from behind the control booth.
I tell him to say Audio Jesus just to keep him safe.
Yeah, that's sweet though. He owns it, He's got to look. One of these days we got to have Mikey on the show. So we got to go seriously.
I think that's an awesome idea.
Maybe we just put a camera on you, Mike, or something, because the people need to know. Mm-hmm. They need to know rock and roll fucking Jesus is in the house, and what a huge contribution he is to this show. Couldn't do it without him, frankly. And
on many levels.
And he's just a great kid, and we adore him. Yeah, I love you, baby. All right, so moving on. So we got the Anya out in the field. It's it's a network-heavy system and has a lot of complexity to it. And Bernie found a way to, as he does with all things, to make it more user-friendly for technicians in the field. Can you talk to us about that product?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really in love with this thing. It's been several years. First of all, I partnered with Link USA.
They do good stuff.
Yeah. So as soon as I came up with this concept, I went right to Bob and RJ at Link, and I said, hey, man, I'm thinking about doing this thing. It's out of my wheelhouse in terms of construction and stuff.
Sure.
I mean, I could make it, but you guys obviously could make it, support it, promote it. You can do all this kind of stuff. And although we're doing this kind of initial run,
so that would be the compressor that was blowing out some consoles earlier.
Yeah,
that's nice. One of the kids left that on. I work with the Cracker Jack crew that gets it right every time. I love these. Mikey loved that one. And I'm not going to smack anybody around in the morning at all. That's not going to happen.
No, it never happens.
No, there won't be
the blades never move
pummeling
from the table.
Yeah, no, because that would be wrong.
That would be wrong.
But there might be a hands-on approach that takes place. But
there are
other ways to speak to folks about proper goings-on, SOPs in the business, that kind of thing. I didn't mean to interrupt. It wasn't actually me that did it.
Keeps all digits.
Yeah. Well, I need them to have digits. But a black eye would never really hurt anybody for that long.
No.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt me for long.
No, you recovered well in a little bit of makeup. You look great.
So anyway. I started working with network systems back in like 2012 as we were developing this product. Before that, I knew nothing. I was that guy that said, can you make my internet work? I just want to get to porn. Yeah. If you can make that work,
Speed that up.
Make that happen, I'll be totally fine.
Reasonable.
All joking aside, though, I realized that there was this, in this industry, in the pro industry, we tend to ruggedize and streamline and package things on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And that held true to me until we got to networking. And when we got to networking, I noticed that literally every shop I went to, no one was excused, that it was a hodgepodge of stuff.
Yeah.
They were buying switches from Best Buy, and they were making these panels, and they were having to configure these racks, and most of these switches were managed, so they had passwords and green Ethernet and all that. And man, it was just an ongoing, non-stop troubleshooting experience, right?
Yeah.
And I said to myself, it doesn't have to be this way. There are certain points where you do need, your segregations, and you need to set up these different things and stuff. But there's also a ton of networking that can be just completely utilitarian. And nobody that I saw was looking at this as a ruggedized, roadworthy piece of equipment that could sit with their amps, their speakers, their cable trunks, their everything. So I came up with this thing called the TCM, which was the transmission control module. And there's nothing special about it, honest to God. I mean, really what it is packaging unmanaged network switches into a robust case that uses industry standard connections like EtherCon and power cons and things like that, LK54s.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I made 2 versions. I made one that was what we call the LK version, which is a 54-pin multi-pin, which is the one you guys are using.
That's right.
And then I made an all EtherCon version, which is basically all single run stuff, you know? They're all built to the same.
There it is there. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's the EtherCon version on screen right now. So this could be for audio, this could be for lighting, this could be for video. You see the fly track on the top, so that takes like, you know, C-clamp accessories. There's all of these accessories that we can build around. It has a rack sleeve. You could put it in a rack if you want. There's a separate road case kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I felt that the basis of this product was going to be the accessory package and the robustness of it, so that you would literally have a shelf of these in your shop, and you wouldn't say, okay, I need somebody to build network racks. You'd say, okay, we'll take 3 of these TCMs, 3 of those TCMs, or whatever.
Exactly.
And you're done. The biggest thing of all that's happened to me in the last couple of weeks, of course, has been Sound Image taking this out on its maiden voyage for the Oxbow stage. So we're using 4 of the LK version TCMs on the Anya rig that we're setting up out there, and I was out there today, setting this stuff up with the guys and everything, and watching some industry veterans, guys who are not normally network savvy, and standing back and just watching them patch all this stuff together and having no issues. It's completely intuitive. They patch it all together. Everything works.
Fantastic.
And blown away.
Yeah.
Just absolutely blown away to see someone else with hands on it and getting the results that I knew they'd get.
Yeah, and good feedback.
Very good feedback so far. I mean, okay, so it's the pilot run. I mean, not the pilot run. It's the proto run.
Yeah.
So we'll find out now what we need to tweak and what we could do a little bit better and stuff like that. But as far as an industry is concerned, I think I've offered something that caters to people who may not be IT savvy.
Sure.
Because we have that level in a production setup where you do have your front of house guys, your system techs who are all IT savvy or whatever, but you also have your fly guys left, right, and your stage hands, and you want to make that shit as intuitive as possible.
That's right.
So that they understand red to red, blue to blue.
Yes.
Let's just get the work done, you know,
right.
And then if there's an issue upstream, well then let the front of house systems tech handle it. And that's really where I came from. It was from a very loving place to say, look, man, I'm going to make something that's going to help people who are maybe not network savvy transition into some network duties, and they can keep doing their thing. It's a scary thing for people in their 50s and 60s, you know?
That's a fact, actually. That we've seen that. We know that's a thing. This whole system is the Anya system.
Right.
It can be a little daunting for folks.
There's a lot of them out there
a
now.
certain age. You're not wrong. And I like that you made it a very compact and logical piece. I've seen other companies that also have.
Oh, remember that post you sent me?
What was that? It was like a Samsonite size version of it. It was huge.
It was something hanging off the back.
Yeah,
it was
a little obnoxious. We won't name names or
No,
anything.
I couldn't
appreciate
remember.
their effort and what they were trying to do, and it was their vision.
Obviously, it was something they wanted to address.
Yeah, and so
Good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. A little cumbersome and a little clunky, it seemed to me, but you know.
Off on the right foot.
Yeah, right. And it seemed like you kind of embraced, I think, took in that image and already your existing idea of how it could be done. And
I was already well down the road by then. Of what I was going to do. Yeah.
And I think that thing that you made was much better realized and much more functional and much more considerably less cumbersome. And
I should say transferable, because I've talked to a couple of pro audio manufacturers recently, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to get some of these companies to start adopting it.
Yeah.
Branding is no problem. I don't care. You know, it's a new product that they can make some points on if they were to sell it to their systems. I mean, one of the biggest threats some of these systems face are the ones that use the daisy chaining concept.
Yes.
And what they may be missing, not the brands themselves, but what some of the end users, the purchasers may miss, is that in a daisy chain configuration for network, if you lose, well, like any daisy chain really, if you lose a connection, you lose everything below it.
Yeah, that's right.
And with a TCM, like the EtherCon version as an example, you can create a star topology.
Yeah.
So each cabinet gets its own cable run.
That's right.
So if one fails, it doesn't affect the rest of the system.
Exactly.
Easy upgrade. is what I say. If you already have a system that is daisy chained, you can easy upgrade to that safety margin.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, come on, that's priceless.
Yeah.
The difference between the daisy chain versus what you've come up with and the star topology. I couldn't agree with you more. It's such a much better, more elegant solution.
Yeah.
And frankly, you know, when you're in the fire, when you got a national act on, and they're playing, and the last thing you want is something to go wrong in a you know, right side of 9, something up at 7, take a shit, and oh my God, you know,
and it's in the air.
Yeah, and you drop the whole column.
Let's stop the show for 30 minutes so I can.
You know, somebody's got to get up there and
No, we don't
motor
like
it
that.
down. You know,
we don't like that.
It just is not you know, kosher.
So I would encourage anybody out there who owns a network PA right now, or even brands. Like I said, I've been contacting brands. I mean, we can make a universal fit here.
Yeah.
Right. we can create something that if somebody owns a TCM system of any nature, we could have multiple brands sporting the same networking package, which is going to be a value add to the customer because they could say, well, I already own a TCM system.
Yeah.
So all I need is the particular adapters or cables or whatever to integrate it into another system that also uses the same type of construct.
Kind of a universal approach.
A universal approach.
Sure.
A pro audio, just the way we've always done it.
Absolutely.
Universal, SOCAPEX, you know what I mean? Like XLR, TCM.
Well, I can't say this enough. Really, as a vendor, as a person in the mix that deals with these real world problems out in the field.
Absolutely.
The last thing I need is complexity in something that is inherently complex. If we can find places we can kind of fail safe it and make kind of universal options, it's really, I mean, it's really a hell of a product.
And that's all I did. That's all I did. I just envisioned this whole stack of these random switches and patch bays and stuff, and then envisioned that as a row of TCMs that are all the same.
Yeah, no,
that's all I did.
It's really, the word that comes to mind is definitely elegant. It's an elegant solution. It really serves the system well. It serves the customer well. And to me, the customer isn't just the artist or the promoter, but it's the audience.
It's the audience,
you know. And so we always want them to have the best experience out there. And you know, Sound Image is big on that. You know, we want
efficiencies.
Efficiencies, and we fully embrace the idea that we're out there in the business of helping make memories and getting it right, and that product really helps us with that.
That's why I feel blessed that I have the opportunity to do this right out of the gate with a brand as strong as Sound Image, because I know I'll get positive feedback from the crew, from everybody involved. Help me make a better product, help me do it better. You know, that's the trust we have in each other.
Absolutely.
And all of this is just kind of pointing towards the future of what Truth in Audio is really founded on, and what we intend to do as we kind of go forward is create meaningful products.
Yes.
I don't, being a solely self-funded project, this company, I don't answer to anyone. You know, I do the things that I feel are necessary, and I spend the money where it needs to be spent, and I create the stuff that I think that has value.
Well, you do beautiful work, and you know, the quality of the craftsmanship, let alone the engineering that goes into the technology that you bring to the table, is extremely beneficial to all of us in this game.
Just getting started, bro.
Yeah, I know you are, and thank you for coming on today. Somehow or another, we just talked for 56 minutes, and it felt like 20.
Don't you feel like it? It always will be this way.
Yeah, it just happens with us.
Right?
Yeah, it's a very natural thing.
Unlike the Super Bowl, it didn't cost us $1 million a minute.
Exactly. We're very lucky that way.
Exactly.
Thank you for coming out here tonight, being with me and sharing your stuff.
Anytime, brother.
You're the best, brother.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you. Well, we just had the great Bernie Broderick on. He came and shared his stuff with us. I really wouldn't be, I mean, he's my dear friend, but if he was putting out crap, I would just not talk about it. I think I wouldn't down it, but I certainly wouldn't carry on about it. And I feel comfortable and lucky enough to be able to say, the Truth in Audio products and the TCM and the Curie stuff, and there's so much more to come. I know there's a bunch of stuff in development, from line array to subs and all kinds of fun things. And we'll hopefully share that stuff in the future. I know you have 1,000 other places you could be, and that you come and share time with us. We really appreciate it. We're going to keep trying to do this thing. Next week, we're really lucky. We've got a dear friend of ours coming in from Metallica, the House of Metallica. It's the one and only production manager to all the big bands, Bobby Schneider, excuse me, Bob. He's a true badass. He goes out and production manages for some of the biggest bands in the world. He's largely known for his work with Metallica, Kendrick Lamar. The list is very long. He's a individual, singular kind of cat. We're going to get him right here in this shot, and we're going to talk to him and break it down. It should be a lot of fun and very, very interesting. I want to send out a special bit of love to my woman for helping me deal with comments and just being an incredible chick. I'm so lucky. I can't say enough about that. Come back next week. We do this every week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We appreciate you. We hope you have a good week. Be kind to do your best, man. Go out there and put your best foot forward and have a great week, and we'll see you next Thursday. Until then, good night.